And as always, we're joined by the head coach of the New York Giants, Joe Judge, as we're going to take you inside the classroom. And we're going to start, Coach, with the Giants on special teams. They got a lot of explosive players, and Duvernay is one of these guys that can really kind of change field position.
Yeah, well, listen, Duvernay is one of the top guys in the league. He's an explosive player. The thing you've got to guard against a guy like him is he's a vertical returner. And you got to stop him from having that vertical return where he never has to settle or chop his feet. And one of the things teams get themselves in trouble with him is they get all their coverage on the same level. And once he breaks that one level, there's no overlap on him to stop that vertical threat, and he takes it to the house. So we'll watch the side view first, and then we'll go ahead and we'll go to the back view and kind of explain. But what we're really looking to create on this guy this week were those levels. And we just talked a second ago about teams creating that same level coverage that once he pierces it, there's no one over top to go ahead and fit. We want this just like a defensive structure where you have your initial penetrators like the defensive line, and then the safeties and linebackers fold fitting off that initial front with the penetration. You can see from the side view right here the staggering speed we had down the field and the levels we created by scheme this week, and it really is what we're looking to accomplish. As you see this shot right here, here he is a vertical returner, and we'll see the back end of the scheme, but they're looking to go ahead and get a sideline return with multiple double teams and just get him running vertically like he's running the high hurdles in the Olympics right there. We got to go ahead and slow him down and make him throttle his feet. And we're looking for right here are the penetrators to set the edge, and then the levels of it off right here to work off that if he splits it, we always had a second level player to fold and fit and get him on the ground. We didn't want to go down there and run at the same level, give an opportunity for a big play. So as you see this here from the side view, you see the speed right there with AC going down and then making the tackle inside the 20. And we're in good position, but really on the back end is where the scheme part of it comes together. And we're looking right here. What we end up doing is by a rule now on the kickoffs, you've got to have, 5 guys on either side of the ball. You have to have 2 outside the numbers and then 2 more between the hash and the numbers right there. The 5th guy on either side can fit anywhere out there. So it can be 3 outside the numbers, 3 in the alley, or you can be inside the hash right here. But by base rules, there's only so many ways now with the new rules you can do to really squeeze and maneuver it. But what we did was we slid AC down right here to create a speed matchup. And we knew by the base way of their schemes, this tackle was going to be blocking AC right there. So what we want to do is isolate him in a bad angle to really run, open up his hips, and take the speed off the edge to cut the field and really bottle this up and prevent the bounce back to the field with a field return. On the front end, we had the speed to set the edge, but then you're going to see the levels develop. Now, their base scheme was to double the 3, double the 5, single the 4, and then build that backside wall, and they could kick out the 1 and the 2, and that's really the lane he's looking for right there. So it's important for us to take away this vertical path for him to get it right there. So we're going to start right here and talk about the front side of their return with the double teams, and then how on the backside, CJ Board does a nice job of canceling that out. So you see him going down the field right there. Here's a double team right there on Nate Ebner. Here's a double team waiting on Devontae Downs. There's the single block right there on Lelos. Now we've got an edge player coming through here to set it there with Carter Coughlin. Peppers is playing the safety as that second level player. Now what's nice is right here, CJ runs down the field and he recognizes this double team right here, and he just knows there's going to be a cavity of space in here, and he's got to go away and take away that vertical threat. Does a nice job of slicing across right here and just creating some traffic in his way right there to kill the blocking angles and just make sure he has to settle his feet. Now on the back end, we've got AC shaving it down right there, and then we're going to have Cam Brown as a levels player to play off of CJ and off of AC, and then you're going to see Mayo on the back end. He's going to scrape the fold and fit off right there. Now at this point, Nate's got to hold space. Devontae's got to hold space. Lelos has to push forward, hold space. But it becomes Carter Coughlin and then Peppers playing off right here. And you see your first level players, your second level players, and then your safety right there that have 3 levels of defense on the return game. And again, there goes CJ right there, taking away that vertical threat. You see how it just kills the block right there. They're not getting that clean run alley right there. Carter's actually looking for a little bit of a chip right there after the catch, and he's going to climb vertical there. Now, CJ crossed his face. We talked about lane responsibilities a few weeks ago. If he crosses my face, I fit off his hip and take his lane right there. Does a nice job right there setting it, taking it away. You see the speed by AC, taking away the field bounce. There's Cam Brown, that next level playing off. There's Mayo as well. He really doesn't have anywhere to go. And again, Julian Love playing right here to make everybody right, that if he were to get outside, Julian's got to climb and contain that. But you see in this picture right here, we've got the levels we were really looking for off the penetrators. We've taken away that vertical lane right here. We've set the edge, and we got our safeties in position right here for a tackle. It's a nice job right there, the team playing together within the scheme. We knew this was going to be a big matchup this week. The Ravens are very good on special teams. They've got explosive returners. Field position is very big. You want to start their offense as far within the goal line as possible because this is a high-scoring, explosive offense.
Coach, when you talked about the varying speeds coming down the field, do you do that by personnel, meaning how you put guys in position, or are certain guys just supposed to throttle it back a hair to create the different levels?
So it's a little bit of both. Number one, the priority way is just by staggering body types. So you've got, AC a safety, CJ Board. These are two of the fastest guys on the team. Now, Cam Brown's a fast guy as well, but he's going to lose the race for these guys by a few steps every time. Now, David Mayo is going to be slower than both those guys, and he'll be able to fold and fit off it naturally. We've got to throttle Julian Love to make sure he slows down, because if he went full speed, he'd really be on the same level as AC and CJ. Now, on the front side, we got some bigger body types with Lelos, Devontae, and Carter, really those linebacker body types right there. They're going to all be similar speed right here, going down and kind of building the wall to the front side. Now, Peppers is a faster of those guys, but he's going to throttle play off. And then Nate Ebner's kind of the guy who, by scheme, sometimes he'll shoot that thing and play as a penetrator. Sometimes we'll throttle him out as a safety, and other times he just knows who he's working with, especially when he's next to CJ, that he'll let CJ pass him up and he'll make him right there fitting off there, or CJ stays off, he can go ahead and hold his lane right there. So Nate's kind of the brains of the operation. He kind of makes everyone right. He does a lot of communicating out there to keep the unit moving. But the easiest way is stagger your personnel by body types and positions. And then sometimes by scheme, the responsibility to tell certain players, you've got to throttle at a certain point and play as a second level player off the penetrator in front of you.
Coach, we're going to take a look at the offensive touchdown in this ball game and the pass play to Sterling Shepard. And despite the way that this game had gone, your team kind of hung in there, and this touchdown pass to Sterling Shepard with just over 8 minutes to go got you back in the contest. Talk about the play design and then the execution of it.
Yeah, right. So first off, the most important thing is, and again, we played the entire game through all 60 minutes. So we're looking at the fourth quarter here. Obviously, there's a big deficit we have in the game, but we're in position right now to cut to a 2-possession game and make it a 14-point game. And once you do that with this kind of time left in the game, just under 9 minutes, we've got all 3 timeouts plus a 2-minute warning. We really look to extend the time in the game. At this point, it becomes really situational football. Stop them on defense, play good on the punt return, create some field position, offense, move the ball with tempo, 2-minute style, and got to capitalize on points. At this point, touchdowns are what we need. Field goals don't really help us. It's 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. I'm telling Jason on the headset at this point, Jason, you got 4 downs. We got to get across the goal line. Call it aggressively, whatever you got to do to get in between those 4 plays. So what we're looking at right here is just an opportunity of playing. Now, everybody plays different defenses in the red area. When you get down to the low red area, you're looking at 1 of 2 things. Max pressure, where you're really blitzing everybody inside and getting as many people in the quarterback's face to make him make a quick decision, all right, and get the ball out fast. Or you're playing some kind of max coverage. Normally that's rush 3 and drop 8 and just overpopulate the red zone right there with too many bodies and windows to give you an easy completion. Now, everything in the red area happens faster. There's less space. The ball's got to come out faster. The windows are tighter. The plays just happen quick right there, and you've got to be alert. Now, what we look for right here, we had a combination. We recognized it was just man defense out here. We had Sterling one-on-one with a corner out there. And this is really where all those one-on-one drills in training camp really come in handy. It just always comes down to, at the end of the game, it's man defense. It's him versus him. We got a quarterback throwing the ball. We've got to protect up front, and we've got to win on a route. He knows he's got to cover for the duration of the play. The rush has to get home, and he's got to win before the rush can get there, and he's got to throw an accurate pass. So we're going to look at this play right here, and it's really a double move type play down there in the low red area. And what Sterling's going to sell right here is just that little slant or under route here. And he's going to sell up the field, break in, and knowing there's no outside help right here for the corner, he's going to sell the inside move and get him to really bite, get inside, and then Sterling wants to work back outside where the defender has no help. Now, all that being said, this takes a little bit longer to develop relative to the speed of the low red area, so we need good protection up front. All right, the offense line does a nice job right here. You can see right here the Ravens really rushing their base 4. They're coming down. They start looking to drop back and put 7 into coverage right here. And Deion Lewis does a nice job right here. As they try to add in 1 extra rusher, we call it a green dog, meaning I've got the back in coverage, but he's in there to block. So instead of covering him out in the field, they'll just rush and try to keep him in the backfield and eliminate a receiver anyway. He comes, Deion does a good job of cutting or blocking below the waist to take him out. And you can see the wall built right there by the offensive line. And that's enough time right there for Daniel to just sit on back, let the route develop, and then it comes back to Sterling winning his one-on-one matchups. We'll watch Sterling up top right here. What he does a nice job of right here is when he gets inside right here, you can see he really sells it with the eyes, the pad level leaning going forward, and just the body language that he's looking to win inside. Now, the help right there for the corner is the linebacker getting ready to break and drop in that window, but you see him turn his hips and get over aggressive right here. Sterling does a nice job really playing with good transition, change of direction. You can see the grab at the top of the route, which that's going to happen, and they ain't going to throw the flag either. Don't come back to the sideline and tell me they're holding. I'm telling you they're holding right now. All right, he's going to get grabbed here, but does a nice job with this off arm here of fighting to get back across the face of the defender. and then pushing off. What he does a nice job is he doesn't drift where the defender's going to undercut him right there and look to break it up or possibly intercept the ball. He's going to bring his angle back towards the quarterback here on the goal line so Daniel can lead him away from the defender at his break angle. And just like you throw the ball down the field and you want to stack the defender and put him on your back so the ball can only hit you over top, this is just stacking in a different way where now the defender has to play through his back to get to that ball. So he's giving himself ball security playing through right there with just coming back and protecting his leverage. So again, it's a nice job of finishing the play, but kind of watching it back again at regular speed up top, or what Sterling does to get open right here. And again, it's a good sell right here inside, sticks it, brushes off it, then comes back downhill to protect it and finishes the play with a touchdown. So again, we're going to have 4 swings at it. It's nice to get in one, save as much time as we can. Sterling did a nice job on a one-on-one. Daniel threw a really nice ball in the offensive line, and DM did a great job in protection.
All right, on to the defense. And, Coach, obviously this was a rough day for the Giants defense. Baltimore had things under control, but now you're starting to claw back into the game. And in order to get back in this football game, you got to get a stop. And you need a 3-and-out, and you get the 3-and-out against Lamar Jackson and this Ravens offense. Talk about this play in the fourth quarter and how it was executed to get the ball back to the offense and give yourself a chance to get back into this game even more.
One of the toughest things about playing the Ravens is third down, but third down is tough because of the success they have against opponents on first and second down. And you see the situation here, 3rd and 2. They keep themselves in a lot of 3rd and short situations. So the pass and the run are very much alive. And they're really a run-heavy team, but for these guys to get 2 yards on a run is just every down for these guys. They're just very good. They get positive runs. They're vertical into the defense, and you have to do a really good job of stopping them. One thing we talked about throughout the week was playing assignment football. And you play a team like the Ravens, it's not like playing every other team in the NFL. This is really like playing a college triple option type of offense where it really comes down to where your base fits are. And if someone gets out of the right place, it opens a lane and they can have an explosive run. So being in the right place at the right time with the right technique is critical, and everyone has to play on the same page every play. So it's 3rd and 2 right here. Again, we just pulled it into a 2-score possession. We need a 3-and-out and then capitalize on offense. And it's 3rd down. We got to get off the field right here. Now, our defense did a nice job in the second half making some adjustments, slowing the offense down and giving us a chance to put that out some drives offensively and keep us in right there. So we're going to watch from the side, then I'll talk about the scheme part on the front end. But we got to watch really up front right away as we talk about short yards, goal line type runs, the vertical penetration, the offensive line, defensive line. And what we see right here is just a nice job of building the wall right there with the defensive front. And then the backers playing with good scrape technique over top. And all they're looking for is that little bit of a lane or a bounce opportunity for the quarterback to get up and through. Or if this defensive end bit down here, he would hand the ball off for an edge play on a sweep. So really everything they do has multiple options on it. It's never just as simple as a handoff with the Ravens. They're always reading something and going based off whether you give them a give read, meaning I'm fighting on the mesh and giving it to the back, or a keep read where I'm taking away the back and I'm keeping it up the middle or around the edge opposite the quarterback. But we see right here we do a good job of building that wall. All right, Lamar's a tough job getting back outside. We're able to go ahead and suffocate him, get him on the ground right there. So the side shot just shows the lack of penetration from the offense and the wall built by the defense. On the back end, we want to talk about how the pieces fit together. So again, you kind of look at the structure of defense we're playing. That's one thing the Ravens do a lot of is every play's got some kind of change of strength, shift, or emotion, and it makes you adjust and change what you're doing. We're playing really a 3 defense alignment interior to take away the inside vertical run. As you watch right here, Dex is really on a 2-gap situation. I mean, he's got both A-gaps by himself and how he's going to play. What he's going to get a lot of down blocks from the guards throughout the game, and he's got to feel that and then fight pressure with pressure and close off these vertical gaps that are trying to go outside of him. So his game right there in this kind of a scheme isn't always about tackle production. It's about holding space, letting the linebackers play off you. When you look at the guys who would be the defensive tackles or defensive ends in this set right here, all right, looking at Leo and Dalvin, again, they're really taking away the B gap to the C gap runs with their alignment here. We've got 2 edge players at backer here at the overhangs. We've got 2 scrape backers. They're really looking to play everything over the top. And then we have secondary support playing from the back end. That's going to handle all the lateral stuff right there. When you watch this scheme right here, it's starting with offensive, what they're trying to do. You see the multiple down blocks right there to wash our D-line. Here comes the pullers around to build that kind of human wall, almost like a kickoff return, to knock out our linebackers, create that seam. All right, they're reading right here off the backside defensive end. You can see Lamar's eyes right there. And again, he's looking to see, does Nico bite down to give the back the ball on the edge, or does he stay wide so he can keep it and follow his 2 pullers and get the ball up and inside? All right, right here, we give him a keep read by taking the back right there on the edge. He's going to pull it from the running back's belly. Here comes the 2 pullers coming around, and this is a lot easier said than done. All right, but Mayo does a nice job right here. Here comes the puller, and he plays him low to cut out the puller. And really what we're looking to do here is compress and just form a pile of bodies to eliminate that lane they're trying to hit vertically with the quarterback. So you see Mayo comes in right here, plugs underneath the lineman on the puller. Here comes the second puller right here, Brown. Blake does a nice job, same thing, creates that pile of bodies right there. And then there's Tay Crowder on the back end. He adds in as that extra scrape backer over top. That is Lamar's in position here to go. He's got him there, or if he bounced outside on that track. And you see Logan right here just entering here for the vertical run, that we've got people at the point of attack for Lamar trying to get that thing vertical. And again, you see the squeeze of space with the defensive line to take away the cutback lanes on the run. You see the compression and the cutouts of the pullers and just taking away that space right there. And then it all comes down to right here, that pile of bodies. He ends up tripping over Blake and Brown right there on the ground. But there's Tay Crowder. So again, how to make the stop without giving up the yards. It's not as simple as just go run hard, play hard, and stop the run. It's a lot of assignment football technique and then playing with the leverage on the certain kinds of blocks you're going to get.
Coach, great stuff as always. We appreciate the time. I know it's a busy week for you with the Cowboys coming up, but best of luck this week and Happy New Year to you and your family.
Same to you, Bob. Appreciate it.